What's good, man?
Nothing much, man. Yeah.
Could we see? Yeah, we could see you well. I could see me well. We're all settled in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So new album this week.
Most definitely.
New
Yeah.
Kush album this week. That shit's
Yeah.
pretty dope. How you feeling about it and shit?
I feel good. Yeah. I feel like, I don't know. It's fire. Yeah. I feel
Yeah, I
like
feel
it's
like we
good,
talk a lot about like the stresses of like putting music out like in
Mm-hmm.
this day and age and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like the pressure of like promotion, I guess, and like I don't know. You feel any of that this week or any kinds of like?
Oh, most definitely. Yeah. Yo. I don't even know like what I'm gonna do to promote it, but
Yeah.
I'm sure I'll find something
I
at some
admire
point.
your fucking like like the animation videos,
Yeah.
the VFX videos that you always come up with. Like, I think they're always dope.
Yeah. Yeah.
They
Thank
fit
you,
your
man.
songs so well a lot of the time.
Thank you, yo. Thank you. I don't know. I appreciate that. I don't know. I'm just a fan of like animation and shit.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that's mad cool. Like, have you? I feel like as long as I've known you, I've seen those kinds of styles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so like I was trying to draw during the pandemic.
Yeah. Oh shit!
Yeah, I
I
was
remember you were
trying to.
showing me doodles. You got a doodle
Yeah.
Instagram.
Yeah,
You got a
yeah.
doodle Finsta.
I used to. I
Yeah.
deleted it, but
That shit is hard.
yeah.
Bro, I want to make some cover art with one of those.
Oh, thanks, yo. Like, thanks. But like, I don't know, just doing that, just like drawing and stuff, and like coloring in faces on my computer. Like, I don't know, it made me like appreciate animation more. Like, I was watching like I don't know, like the start of Looney Tunes, like the history of Looney Tunes and the history of Disney and shit like that.
Damn.
Like,
I feel like that's very apparent in your lyrics, like that you've
Yeah.
studied a lot of the histories of different
yeah,
art
yeah.
mediums and times and things like that.
Just
Of course, you're fucking you know about that like the
Yeah.
start of Looney Tunes.
I mean, just like, just random, like, yeah, just like Looney Tunes and like just random things like, I don't know, also anime too. Like, I'm not the biggest into anime, but the whole history of it is like fascinating though.
Yeah, no, definitely. So like when you were younger, were you always into like arts or the arts and stuff? Did you always kind of like listen to rap and like or see anime or see like doodles and see shit like that and you were like, I'm gonna do some shit like that on my own one day? Or
Yeah, I was always into cartoons. Like, I used to want to draw,
yeah.
and I even like I don't know, I'm living with my parents,
Mm-hmm.
and like I was going through some things, and like I found like old comic books I would try to draw and stuff.
Really? Like, did you would like try to copy? Like, you'd use it as like reference, basically?
I mean, no, I never tried to copy it or anything. Like, I just found it like recently, and like I was just looking through it, like from like when I was 9 and 10 and stuff.
Okay, I just misunderstood. I thought you
yeah,
meant
yeah.
you found old comic books.
Oh,
You said
no,
you-
no.
Like you found old comic books that you made.
Yeah, that I tried to make and stuff.
That's so cool.
I mean, it's like it's trash though. I mean, none of it's like, I mean, not trash, but like I really don't know how to draw,
Yeah.
and like I don't know, it doesn't look the greatest to be.
Hey man, art is art.
Yeah, it is what it is. It's actually funny, yo. There's a dude named like a painter named Robert Narva.
Robert Narva.
Yeah, and everything he does looks like child like drawings and stuff.
Yeah,
And that's how like my comics look.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. So, like, what age were you when you started getting into hip hop and started rapping? Yeah, what age were you when you started rapping? Because I assume you've always been into hip hop.
Yeah, I mean, so that's the funny thing too. I wasn't always into hip hop. Like,
Okay.
at first I was into just R&B and like reggae music.
Okay.
But this is like elementary school,
Yeah.
and like
Your parents didn't let you listen to hip hop.
no, it's
Or
just
not even that.
it's not that they didn't let me listen to it. They just didn't I don't know. They just didn't like it. So because they didn't like it, I didn't really like it.
Fair. No, totally.
Yeah. And then like, but the thing is, my mom, so my mom's family is from Hollis, Queens. Like when my grandparents moved here from Jamaica, they first moved to Hollis, Queens, and so my mom and my uncle grew up with like Run DMC.
Nice.
Yeah, like they knew them from like, I don't know, for a long time.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like how I got into rap, because they would play Run DMC. That would be like the only rap that they would play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is kind of very like clean cut.
Yeah.
It's like the early stage before like I don't know like Rakim or like a lot more like kind of
like
street shit.
NWA.
Right.
Yeah.
No, that's really tight. So like how old were you in that when like you first heard?
So that would probably be like,
When you first heard Run DMC, how old were
that'd
you?
probably be like 9 or 10.
Yeah.
9 or 10. And then like, so then like, like through 9 and 10, I'm listening to like old school rap.
Right.
Like it's funny. Like the thing with rap is like funny.
But defined like that even. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the thing with rap is like funny because like most people just like, I mean, especially now they grow up listening to rap. So it's like their parents listen to it and everything. And like, I feel like with me, I actually like studied the history of it. So like when I first started listening to Run DMC and like Public Enemy
Yeah.
and like Ice Cube and shit like that.
Wow.
And that's like the only thing I would listen to in like middle school.
Yeah.
And then after that, like I just started listening to 90s shit.
Right.
Like I actually just like went through the timeline of like hip hop.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
pretty sick, dude.
Yeah.
That's pretty sick. That's like, was that always just, that's kind of just how you naturally went about it, or was that like a plan, like a deliberate kind of?
No, it wasn't like a
I
plan.
want to start at the beginning and work my way.
Yeah,
so I could really know this shit.
It wasn't a plan, yo, because like it was just like I don't know, yo. I think like it was. So I was really into comic books, like just how I was telling you, like I was trying to draw my own comic books.
Right, and it's funny because
Yeah.
your raps are like comic books.
Oh, thank you, yo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they're like an audio like collage of,
Yeah.
of poetry and ideas and like it's
Wow.
really cool, bro.
But yeah, yo, I was really into comic books like before I got into rap. And the thing with comic books is any story, like any superhero I would get into,
Yeah,
I want to see like, oh, how did this guy start out?
yeah,
Like you always have like the origin story.
right,
So then I would just do that with rap. Like I would find rappers
right.
and I'd be like, oh, this dude's dope. I want to be like, how did this dude start? You know, like then I would get into interviews and all that shit. So I don't know. So I was like, even as much as I was like falling in, I guess like, I don't know, like becoming a fan of rap, I was also becoming a fan of like hip hop media also too. Like,
Yeah. Well, isn't it
Yeah.
amazing like how much when you get into one artist and let's say you get into, NWA and you start listening to, music from LA like during that time and like
yeah,
all the different stuff that was happening and all the different rappers
Yeah.
who like were in that area and all the shit that they influenced. Like it was a whole scene. And
exactly.
there's so many
Yeah.
different like examples of that, like
Yeah.
different
Yeah,
cities
yo.
and scenes and
Yeah. It's insane, yo, because like, I don't know. So like I basically started out listening to like very old school rap. And then I kind of like, I don't know, I got into like more 90s stuff. But like the thing is, it's just interesting because I never planned to rap. Like I actually thought it was like for years, I thought it was like very corny, like for people to just like rap. You know what I
Wow.
mean? Yeah.
that's crazy.
I thought it was like, but honestly, that was like before high school and everything.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it was like.
You know why I say that's crazy,
Yeah.
bro? Because when I like just like when I was growing up, I just thought it was the coolest shit to rap.
Yeah.
It never once crossed my mind that it was corny until like more recently.
Yeah.
Like, yo, what if I look corny as fuck? Like,
Yo, same. I mean,
goddamn,
same, yo,
like,
same.
when I was like 17, I was like,
Yeah.
I'm not cool. I was just showing everyone. I was corny as hell.
Yeah.
But like, whatever. But like, it's funny how
But-
how it works like that.
So the thing is too with rap that's interesting is so like I'm really getting into like a lot of rap fast.
Yeah.
And one of the things that like really drew me to the old school stuff was
And
the
this is when you're like, how old when you're getting to rap fast? Or are you talking about currently?
no, like elementary school.
Okay.
Yeah. Like so in elementary and middle school, like when I'm getting into rap and I'm reading about all this different type of stuff,
Yeah.
I'm also like looking into the samples.
Right.
And
Oh,
I'm
wow.
and I'm noticing that the samples is like the same from the same kind of like R&B and reggae music that my parents were like listening to. So that was the thing that really like made me into a fan of like rap and stuff.
That's insane, dude. Because
Yeah.
I don't think I started to like even recognize that until high school.
Yeah, I mean, I remember the first time I heard The Chronic by Dr. Dre
Yeah.
and just being like, what? This is like what my dad listens to.
Right.
Like I remember the song Mothership Connection by Parliament Funkadelic,
Yep.
and Dr. Dre samples that on Let Me Ride.
Wow.
And I just remember the first time hearing that and just instantly being like, what? Like just almost being like confused. Like,
Right.
Like,
the
what is this
sound
guy
can be,
doing?
Like, recycled, basically.
yeah, like what are these guys even doing? And like, I just remember thinking like, man, there's like such a great artistry to that. And like, I don't know, it just made me appreciate it because I kind of felt like I knew where the music was coming from.
Yeah.
And but then the whole story
That's
of like
beautiful, bro. Like that's
Yeah.
so cool to be able to recognize that at such a young age, like in elementary
Yeah.
school. Wow, that's fucking sick.
And then
So when did it change for you? Like when you start, like you're going through it already, so I'm just
Yeah.
gonna let you continue. But I'm wondering when you started, like, you know, when did you decide it wasn't corny to rap, and when were you like,
So-
fucking, I'm doing this?
so
shit?
that's a whole thing too, right? So so I don't know, I probably find out about rap, I started listening to it like 9 and 10, and then I don't rap until like maybe like 15. And but between that time span, between like 10 and 15, like mad just music research is going on. So it's like, so now from looking into the samples of rap, it's also putting me into like onto other samples of like rock music and stuff.
Wow.
So yeah, now I'm also like looking into like the Beatles, and I'm looking into like, I don't know, like Santana
Yeah.
and all this like random stuff.
You ever listen to the Gray album?
No, the Jay-Z one?
Yeah, yeah.
No, I haven't listened to it. Nah.
Shit is pretty cool. I got into that earlier this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that like Jay-Z over like the White Album or
Yeah,
something?
it's Jay-Z
Okay.
over the White Album.
Yeah.
Shit is insane.
Yeah, the White Album, that's one of my favorite Beatle albums.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, sick.
But yeah, no, so I'm also getting into rock and roll music, and there was a real like not a shift in my life, but I guess I kind of realized how much I cared about music when I was like around 15,
Yeah.
because I had this like music class, I remember in like high school, and that was the only class I ever got like, I got like 100 on everything.
Right.
Like to like dead ass, like to the point of where it was like I was the only kid like answering questions in class and
That's
shit.
pretty sick.
And but so the music class was
So you're
basically
like, I actually care about this.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But
How were you in other subjects?
I was okay. I was like a B student, B like high C student.
Yeah.
But but with that music class, it was just different. And that's mainly because, so it all kind of like connects, because that class was like, that's basically, it wasn't like music theory. It wasn't like playing notes and reading music.
Yeah.
It was just the history of American music from like the early 1900s until like, I don't know, like 1980.
So like the recording era.
Yeah, just the recording era,
Okay,
basically.
Yeah.
And but I was so interested into that because towards the end of
Or
the
like the modern era.
Exactly, yeah. Basically, yeah, modern music. We didn't learn about like, I don't know, like what's the dude's name? Like Bach or
Beethoven
or
or-
Beethoven or
yeah.
anything like that. And
But they're also not, that's not American music.
exactly, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but it wasn't, I mean, they didn't call it American music, but it
Yeah.
was just like music 101.
Right. Did America like have much music that was like notable
So,
before?
yeah.
Like between the time, like between the
Yeah.
1700s and the
No.
the 20th century.
That's the thing about that class is they actually didn't.
Interesting.
Like they had like revolutionary music, and
right.
they were
Okay, that
almost
makes
like
sense.
yeah, like America during that time was like almost like I mean, this is like a bad example, but like, you know how North Korea
yeah.
like they don't have like, you know,
Art.
like yeah, they don't have like pop music. Like everything, like most American music was just to kind of like uplift, you know, like I don't know.
Soldiers or
Yeah,
like,
soldiers
or
and
get
stuff like
people
that.
working or like
Yeah, or be proud to be American and stuff.
Right.
But then in the 1900s, there was like a shift of where, you know, you have like blues music and you have like fucking jazz and all this type
Right.
of stuff.
Or even like even earlier than that, like vaudeville and shit.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
like-
Yeah.
Right.
And you know,
Like,
the
no, of course.
1800s had, I mean, the late 1800s kind of had music.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I would assume so. I mean, that's even when like a lot of the early roots of like I guess like jazz started.
Yeah.
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 The blues and stuff.
But so basically this class I had when I was 15, it was like going through the history of American music, and I was so like I don't know. I guess I was kind of paying attention because I knew where he was going to go, and I knew like it was going to lead to hip hop.
Yeah.
And I knew like so all the things like I actually remember that too, the day like we studied hip hop. And the funny thing is too, that was like the shortest section out of everything.
I'm sure.
But I remember we had a test on that, and it was like about the Beastie Boys and Public Enemy
That's pretty sick.
and like Eric B and Rakim. And I remember I'm like, oh yeah, this is what I've been waiting for.
Yeah.
But yo, so the thing is, so this is almost like a side effect of that class. Is there was a dude. So he's teaching us about like American composers.
Yeah.
And there was an American composer named John Cage. And this it's just funny, yo, because
John Cage.
yeah, yo, because it's like they're like the dude from Mortal Kombat or something. And like it's just funny because I wasn't inspired to rap by rap music. Like it was actually this dude John Cage because like he basically had a classical composition, and it was called I want to say 432. I'm probably getting the name wrong. But it's basically like 4 minutes and something seconds, right?
John Milton Cage Jr. was an American composer, music theorist, a pioneer of indeterminacy in music, electroacoustic music, and non-standard use of musical instruments.
Okay, so yeah. So basically,
Cage was one of the leading figures of the post-war avant-garde.
Yeah, so basically,
there you go.
yeah, yo, and
so he just probably had some badass.
Well, no, that's the thing. So it's not really that badass because so basically he had this one classical composition, and it's basically with him going on stage, and he sits down at a piano, and he opens up the thing, you know, like that's over the keys.
Yeah.
And then he sits there for like 4 minutes and something seconds, and then he doesn't play any notes, he doesn't do anything, and then he closes it, and then he gets up, and that's the musical composition.
Holy shit.
And so my music teacher explained to me like at 15 that the whole reason he did that is because all the sounds that you hear from the second he sits down, like that's the piece. That's the classical composition.
Which is probably like things creaking in the room.
Exactly. And like
people coughing.
Exactly, yeah.
Wow. That's fucking sick. I like that.
So that whole thing, like that's kind of like what got me into experimental music.
Right.
Because then I started like researching John Cage, and I learned after that like, I mean, people were always kind of doing this. People were always making like weird music.
Yeah.
But specifically after John Cage, like people started really experimenting more with like noise and sound and stuff.
Yeah.
And just like almost the possibility of like anything can kind of be music. You know, any sound is music as long as like a musician determines that. You know, I mean, it's the same thing in art when you see like someone put like, they'll take like a couch and they'll just put it into like an art museum.
Yeah.
And that's the whole idea that like anything is art if like someone just determines that.
Right.
So that kind of like, I really got into experimental music like towards like the end of high school.
Yeah.
And that's really kind of what influenced me because I kind of like, I just got the idea in my head like, okay, so if John Cage can do that and that's art, I can like make a rap album and that can be rap.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Even if it almost took away the whole like ego of it for me.
Right.
And it was just like, I don't know. I mean,
you're more like your creation.
Yeah. And I mean, I look back at that moment and I'm just like, you know, because now I'm like way older and it's like, sometimes I'm like, was I just like, I don't know. Was I just like believing in some random shit? Yeah. You know what I mean? Because it's like, in all actuality, like John Cage did nothing. Like he just sat at a piano and then said like the sounds that everyone hears like that's art. But for some reason, I remember like kids in the class, like when my music teacher said that, some kids like they got mad because of that. They got like legitly like mad and they were like, "This is stupid."
Have you heard that Ben Shapiro thing when he's like?
No, I haven't.
He's like, my father was a music professor, and he said that there's 3 components to music: it's rhythm, it's melody, and it's like something else. He's like, rap is only 2 components out of those 3, so it's not music. It's like, it's like,
oh my god. No, but I mean, I didn't hear that, but I know like that argument and stuff.
Yeah, right.
And but honestly, when I saw, it was just weird because like out of all the kids in my class, like I was the one kid that like when I heard that John Cage thing, I was like, yo. That's the fucking most profound thing I've ever heard.
That shit is sick. Dude, I'm sitting here like, wow, that's pretty cool. Dude, I had kind of like that with like Death Grips. Like at some point, my boy like Witch Hazel Noah, like just to show me music that is just like, oh, like you can do that.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't have to just be this. Like it can be.
Yeah.
Which is really cool that you like recognize that early with like being the identity of a rapper.
Yeah, I mean like it's interesting too because on one hand I had to like kind of also realize like, you know, you gotta. Well, no, I mean it's all what someone wants to do with music.
Yeah.
And I kind of just did realize at some point I got to focus more on like sound and like how things sound and stuff. Like I do
Yeah.
feel like at one point I was like too free. I mean, honestly, that kind of goes into where we're going next, like how I started recording and stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, like, when you
Yeah.
first started rapping, who your favorite rapper was, or maybe like a rapper
Yeah.
that you were like, this is who I want to be like and shit.
So like, yo, I was listening to so much rap from like 9 to I would say like 15.
Yeah.
And I would say like kind of like 16 too. Like kind of when I became 17 or 18, then I like kind of knew. But but before that, it was like I would have a new favorite rapper every week, yo.
Right.
Like it was
Right.
it was
But
just
if you
like
had to pick one
yeah.
that like you built your style around, do you even have one or no?
So yeah. So that kind of goes into like when I started recording. So
Yeah.
when I started getting into like more experimental music,
Yeah.
I started getting into like that's when I get into like underground rap.
Right.
And I realized, oh, these are the dudes who are like they kind of see what I see almost.
Okay.
Like they
this
see
is like 2010.
Yeah, this is like 2010 and shit. And which is like honestly, this is like a crazy time for music because also you have like Wiz Khalifa and like
Yeah.
a lot of stuff is going on in rap that's also like it's making me pay less attention to like old school stuff.
Kid Cudi, Chief
Yeah,
Keef.
exactly, yeah. Like Gucci Man and all
Right.
all this type of stuff. And like I don't know, that was just also crazy just like growing up during that time.
Right.
Yeah.
Did that also give you like partially kind of like the push to say like I can make a rap album and it's valid because you saw like underground people doing it and shit? And
yeah, yo,
it
honestly,
doesn't have to necessarily be this big polish. Like it doesn't have to be fucking Reasonable Doubt. Like
yeah, exactly.
you could just come
yo.
up with a couple cool ideas and like put it out and see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, like, yo, I remember when Odd Future came out.
Right.
And that was like,
see those were my first
yeah,
underground like holy shit, like I can
exactly
rap. Like why not?
Exactly, yeah, yo, like, and but I'm not gonna lie, yo, like, also Lil B,
right?
Like,
that's pretty cool.
And like, yo, I don't really like, I don't know, I don't tell a lot of people that, but when I did really see like Lil B first start rapping, I was like, yo, if this guy can do it, like, I can definitely
Right.
do it. And that's no disrespect to Lil B.
Yeah.
I think it's all just like, I don't know, my mind state's mad different, yo. Like,
right.
I don't really think of in terms of like there being like good or bad music and stuff like that. But
I think the same way.
Yeah.
I didn't used to think that way for like many years, but like it's kind of, I don't know, you kind of get better that way, but you also learn a lot that way. If you just close off to everything, then you kind of just stagnate.
Yeah.
Or at least I think.
Yeah. But also big too in high school, that's when I really get into like MF Doom and I get into like LP. And I would say that kind of rap, that was really like my favorite type of rap.
Right. Finman put me on to LP heavy. I haven't really even dove in.
A$AP Rock.
A$AP Rock.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Like his music's crazy.
Like Atmosphere.
Atmosphere, yeah. I mean, I only listened to the first 2 albums by Atmosphere.
Yeah.
Which is like, I mean, I'm pretty sure they have other good stuff. I gotta actually check their stuff out.
Yeah, I remember that was like sort of a thing for me for a minute.
Okay, word.
Yeah, like way back in the day. But also, like, I'm a little younger than you, so I had like a later introduction to the 2010s. Like, I kind of saw that era from like a 2014 angle because I was already like, that was when I was like 15.
Yeah, I mean, yo, it's crazy now because a lot of that rap is almost like, not like forgotten, but it's like, it's almost like there's no entry point for younger people for that rap. I feel like it's kind of almost weird.
You don't think like if you're a big Migos fan, you know, you listen back to old Migos and you wonder like, maybe, I don't know.
I mean, no, yeah, definitely for Migos, but I feel like for like a lot of like old like lyrical shit, like
right.
There's like no like, I don't know. It's
I
like
was thinking of like Gucci and like Atlanta shit. Like,
oh
it's
yeah, no,
easy to find
your
way back to that if you're
it's definitely
like Atlanta shit now, basically.
Oh yeah, definitely like old, like that stuff is like really celebrated, you know.
Yeah.
But in terms of like people like Atmosphere, right?
Right.
It's like, I don't know, Atmosphere did a lot in terms of like just creating a foundation for underground artists.
Right.
And it's like, but no one really talks about Atmosphere. And I don't know, yo, it's also like, I don't know, it's like the whole lo-fi thing. It's like, when I first heard of lo-fi, I was like, oh, this is going to be like the scene that's going to like, I don't know, almost revitalize all the artists I used to listen to in high school. And now it's just like, not really, like they just kind of make 21 Savage remixes. And I'm like, bro, I never see really a lo-fi page that talks about atmosphere or like,
Yeah.
I don't know. There's mad underground artists that all contributed to the sound of like what lo-fi is.
Right. That's so cool.
But I don't know, yo. I don't know if that community really has that understanding of it. And I do understand, like,
I think that community is more just
Yeah.
like chill beats while you study.
Exactly, yeah.
Which is kind of like what it
Yeah.
is.
Which
I
is
mean,
cool.
It's cool music. I
Which
think
is
it just
cool, but-
falls into like very similar beats and rhythms, and
Yeah,
it can.
yeah.
But the good stuff is cool.
And yeah, it's
So
definitely
that's just
cool.
my opinion.
It's definitely dope, but like I just think like it does feel weird when it's like all that stuff I was listening to in high school. I feel
Yeah.
like there's like so many rappers from the 90s and like 90s underground and stuff that was like really kind of pushing like a lo-fi sound. And I don't know if that community really like celebrates those artists. And I just think it's kind of a shame because I feel like that community would be perfect to like introduce those artists to a younger generation.
Yeah. I don't
know?
know if they even I don't know if like I don't know if a lot of young people necessarily even realize the origins or like where it could have stemmed from.
Yeah, yo, and it's like it is kind of like a lot of like, I don't know, like Jay Dilla worship and stuff, which is dope because like Jay Dilla's mad like a legend.
Yeah.
But there's so many like 90s rappers that like contributed to like just the lo-fi sound.
Right.
Like even in college, I knew a dude
I'll say MF Doom even.
Oh yeah, most definitely, yeah, MF
Yeah.
Doom too, yeah.
I mean, like
Yeah.
in terms of just like the minimal, like I don't know, like that's lo-fi.
Oh yeah, definitely. But there's also a dude named Count Bass D, who
Yes.
who also rhymed and produced with Doom, and like, I don't know. I wish the lo-fi community would celebrate him because he's still making music.
Right. Wow.
And
I gotta
he's-
check him out. I don't even celebrate him.
Yeah, no, he's fire though.
What's
he's
Count
fire.
Bass D on? What's the famous song? Is he on Food?
Yeah, he's on Food and he's on Potholders.
Right.
Yeah, I think he produced that too.
Ew. That shit is sick. I love Food. Food. So when'd you get into UA?
So I actually got to go like to when I started recording.
Yeah, I mean,
And
let's hear it.
so yeah, I started recording. I started recording towards the end of high school, and I was just I would say my senior year of high school, and my dad had gave me an iPad for Christmas, and I just started recording on the iPad.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and I would like make album art on it too.
Wow.
Yeah, and
What did that shit feel like?
it felt dope.
Felt like free, like you're like, holy shit, I can do this kind of
Yeah, because so basically I started recording that summer, and I think by the end of that summer, like right before I go to college, I recorded a song called 5 Subscribers.
on GarageBand.
I think it was GarageBand, yeah.
Yeah.
I forget what the program was.
On the iPad,
Yeah, just on the iPad.
Yeah.
And I recorded a song called 5 Subscribers because I made a YouTube where I was like uploading my raps.
Yeah.
And also, yo, speaking of which, this is like something, I don't know, this is maybe something we could do just to like pay respects or whatever.
Yeah.
There's a rapper named Tame One who just recently passed away.
Rest in peace. I actually saw that this
Yeah.
week. I saw a lot of people talking about it.
Yeah. And he's like Redman's cousin.
Wow.
And but the funny thing how it like all connects to he did an album called Leak Bros, and he had his track on there called Delirium. And but that's one of the first beats I ever recorded over.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's sick. Isn't it cool as hell? Like, listen, like that's I don't know. You probably
Yeah.
always think of your shit when you hear that.
When I hear the beat,
Yeah.
I can't even remember the verse when I that I did.
Really?
Yeah, yo, I can't even remember it. It was just like,
Can't even like remember the first few lines.
nah, yo, I honestly can't. I mean, the thing is too though, but so I recorded like that track, a couple other tracks, and then I made a YouTube. And on that YouTube, I remember I like started getting subscribers out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And I was in the booth recording. Like I just had like loose verses. That's how I'd record.
What was your booth?
like a closet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
like how you're like, I was in the booth.
yeah. So like I was just in my closet like recording.
Sick.
And I got like 5 subscribers on YouTube. So then like I made a song called 5 Subscribers. and I submitted it to this guy on YouTube named Terry Hesticles.
Oh my god.
And he used to upload like a lot of underground shit. Like he used to upload like MF Doom, like Atmosphere,
like remixes, or like they're straight up.
No, they're just straight up songs.
Cool.
Like he had a lot of their full albums on there.
That's
before,
completely
like,
illegal during that time, right? Or no?
It wasn't like how it is now.
Right.
Yeah, like you could kind of just get away with it.
Okay.
And but that's how I knew about his channel.
Yeah.
And I saw he was like accepting like music submissions. So I sent him that song, 5 subscribers. And that was like the first time I got like 1,000 views on anything.
Wow.
Yeah. And then that was like the start of my rap career, I guess.
That shit is ill. How did you like that shit was probably like, wow, people like actually are listening to me.
Yeah. And yo, it was over I don't know if you ever heard this song, but it was over the song called Bird on a Wire.
Bird on a Wire. I have Birds on the Wire.
by
me. By Action Bronson and shit.
Action Bronson and Riff Raff.
And Riff Raff, that's it. Hard.
Yeah,
I have a song called Birds on the Wire.
Oh, okay, that's
I don't even think I knew of Bird on the Wire, but like I never like delved in. It has like a pretty cool music video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so basically I start recording and so this is all gonna lead to Archiects.
Okay.
Cause like so I start recording and I'm just dropping like mad music. And this kind of came from like, I don't know, it was kind of like inspiration from like, I don't know, people like Lil B and like Sun Ra and shit. Like I always liked artists that just had mad music. And I kind of figured like, I don't know, the internet is a good place for that.
Of course. Do you see yourself getting better too? And you're like, this can't hurt. Like,
so the thing is there
to put it out.
Yeah, exactly. That was my mindset. Like the thing is, I'm not even thinking if this is good or better. Like I'm just thinking, oh, someone's gonna like this song.
Right.
And I was doing that based off like the standpoint of like, oh, like I like this old random Gucci Mane song that no one knows. So maybe if I drop random songs, people will like that. And so I'm
like it's
yeah,
totally valid. It still works.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's kind of like the blueprint now. But like, so basically I don't know, I'm just like recording a bunch of stuff, dropping it constantly. I'm not really doing like music videos or anything, just kind of like creating my own album art. And I released this album called Alex Cross. And I took it off of YouTube. Like no one can like find it or anything.
No one can find it.
Yeah,
anymore.
no. But it's like
Alex Cross.
Yeah, and it was based off, it's actually funny, it was based off like I think Tyler Perry. He's in a movie called Alex Cross.
Oh my god.
And I just like took that and that's what I was going for, I guess.
Yeah.
And I don't know, yo. So I remember I recorded that and an old friend of mine from elementary school like contacted me. And he was basically saying like, yo, I heard the Alex Cross mixtape and like this is fire.
Yeah.
And he's in a rap group with also Josh Alias. And they were in a group called, I think, Bars at the time.
Bars.
Yeah.
We've heard about Bars on this podcast before. Josh was talking about Bars.
Yeah, yo. And
it's like that my first rap group was called Bars.
Yeah, and so they asked me to like come to the studio and like record and stuff. And so I'm up until this point, I've only recorded on an iPad.
Yeah.
So I go to the studio and I think like, to be honest, yo, I think these dudes are like gonna make it and all this type of stuff. Like I'm like, oh shit, this is so official.
Right.
Because like I only recorded on the iPad.
Yeah.
And but like it was just, I don't know, it was just like a crazy time. So we basically
because
recorded
it felt
that. It just felt so insane. Yeah, because I never been to a studio before or anything.
Right.
Yeah, yo, and everyone in Bars just rapped crazy.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, yo. And the other thing too, to like put it in my perspective is like I moved when I was 15.
Yeah.
I moved from like Long Island to Albany.
Right.
So when I moved to Albany, no one knows about like old school rap. Like no one knows about like lyrical rap. Like there's like, I noticed.
What did they listen to? What did like the hip hop heads listen to in Albany?
They listened to like Recovery by Eminem.
Holy shit.
And they listened to that was the first time I met someone that listens to Insane Clown Posse. And like Twisted and stuff.
Yeah.
And so like, and the funny thing is too, like, in a weird sense, I mean, that music's still lyrical.
Right.
Like, but it's just not, it was just not what I was into.
Yeah. Well, I feel like Recovery. I don't even think Recovery is that bad, but it's
Yeah.
just like very 2000. And what year did it come out? 2011.
Yeah,
Like, it's
2011.
just very
Yeah.
2011.
Yeah, and it was also Tech Nine. A lot of them listened
Yeah,
to like
okay, I
Tech
can see
Nine and
that.
stuff.
Yeah.
And so I remember the first day of school, like when I moved up there, I went to like this lunch table where like people were sitting.
You're 15. You're putting music
Yeah.
out. Or you're not putting music
No,
out.
I'm
It's
not
your
putting
senior
music
year
out.
yet.
Yeah. But so I'm just sitting at a lunch table and they were listening to Recovery. And I was like, "Oh, yo, you like Eminem? Have you guys like heard of Big L?" And like I remember none of them like heard of Big L.
Right.
And I was like, "That's weird, yo. How do you know who Eminem is, but you don't know who Big L is?" So then
It makes a lot of sense, actually. Like,
so then I was like, "Yo, do you guys know of like Royce da 5'9"? They were like, "Nah, we don't know who that is."
right.
And I'm like, "Wait, how do you know who Eminem is and you don't know who Royce da 5'9" is?"
That's also very common, I'm
Yeah.
sure. Which is like, it's kind of mind blowing. But it's,
And then,
dude, do you know how many records Eminem still sells?
yeah.
He dropped like a fucking I think he dropped Recovery too.
Yeah. He
It
dropped
was
so many
Recovery
records.
2.
Yeah.
And it was like a lot of songs that got redropped, and I'm pretty sure it sold like a lot of units. And
Yeah.
it's like, how? Like,
Well, he just has
crazy big and like everywhere.
Yeah, he just has his market of people that are just dedicated Eminem fans. And it's weird because like
It's like white people who like drink Mountain Dew.
yeah, kind of. I mean, like the kids in my high school like drove a lot of pickup trucks and stuff.
Yeah.
But yo, that I remember that like really bugged me out because I was like, how like I slowly started realizing like that day I was like, oh, this dude only listens to Eminem. Like he's not really like a fan of hip hop.
Right.
And I never like experienced something like that before.
Yeah.
Because like before, everyone I met, you could like talk to them about rap. Like
Yeah.
it was this whole like thing. But then like I don't know. So that, but honestly, that wasn't like a bad. I don't know. It wasn't like a bad experience.
I feel like usually if you're the Eminem fan and then you get shown like Big L or like Immortal Technique or like Wu-Tang Clan or like Nas, like you're usually like, this is fucking crazy. Like you're usually kind of just like open. Like that was it for me at least. Like it was like, I think Recovery was actually the first album that I was like allowed to buy. No. Forever by Drake was the first song that I was allowed to buy that was explicit. But I was allowed to buy the clean version because like any song before that was like, nah, it had to be like out of my mom's library. But my mom had some good shit. Like my mom had like old Outkast and like you know. Remember listening to like Hey Ya and like Sorry Miss Jackson and like shit when I was really little.
Yeah.
Certain Akon songs like Don't Matter. Like I don't know. There was like certain things that were like more modern. I don't know, because my mom was big into like the Beach Boys and the Beatles. And,
yeah. But I just it was just so it was like weird. I don't think Recovery is that bad of an album, but it was just like a weird experience for me where I kind of learned like, oh, everyone is not like a hip hop head or like everyone's not knowledgeable or something.
Yeah.
And but
well, it's also like kind of frustrating, I guess, if I'm sure you're seeing like that people might not have the same like dense interest as you.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you're like kind of just like, all right, like whatever.
Yeah. So, but at the same time, that's why what made meeting bars so cool because I was like, oh, these dudes actually have like a collective of like dope rappers that are all into like the same shit.
Man, I'm sure those sessions like hungry. Like,
like,
pretty,
almost definitely
hungry, and like you're walking in like nervous and shit. So you're hungry too. Like you're like putting your best foot forward.
I mean, honestly, they were like the best rappers that I've ever like not even like met, but like to me and honestly, in my eyes, I was like they were on the same level as like Odd Future to me and stuff. You know, and all those dudes are still mad talented. You know,
right? Oh no, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. I don't know bars. I just know Alias was in bars.
Yeah, you got
Lang wasn't in bars, right?
No, Lang wasn't in bars. But that's just mainly how I met Josh and stuff.
Yeah.
And then so basically how it goes with Archiects, so I record with them kind of when I'm in college.
You record with bars.
Yeah, I record with bars. Mm-hmm. And so basically like years pass, kind of like, you know, till the end of college and stuff. And I'm still putting out music. I'm still putting out mad stuff.
Recording on the iPad.
Yeah, just recording on the iPad. I mean, by this time I got a microphone.
Yeah.
I had a friend actually that just gave me a mic.
It was like a USB mic?
Yeah, it was a USB mic. And then eventually I bought a USB mic because I had this internship in DC.
Oh, sick.
Yeah. And it's dope too, because honestly, like looking back at it, I didn't really grind as hard as I probably should have.
With the music?
Yeah, with the music, because people were hitting me up for features.
Really?
Yeah. I was just telling my mom this story the other day that like there was a dude from Philly that hit me up when I was like working in DC,
Yeah.
and he was like, I don't know, he just wanted me to hop on his song, and that same dude is like actually like a big producer now.
Really?
Yeah, and I don't like want to say the name or anything, but like it was just crazy to
You
me.
gotta tell me after the interview.
Yeah, yo, I don't even want to say anything because like I don't know.
Oh yeah, I'll probably forget to ask you anyway.
Yeah, because he doesn't go by the same name or anything. And
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
That's fucking ill, dude.
Yeah, yo.
It's cool to have like little validating moments like that along the way.
Exactly,
You kind
yeah.
of forget them sometimes, like.
Yeah, yo. And
I mean, I don't know.
Oh, most definitely, yeah. I always forget him.
Yeah.
Because like, but I don't know. But I don't know. Honestly, looking back at it though,
I'm
was
like over here constantly because this shit's just falling. That's why. If you see.
But honestly, looking back at it, I was like, I should have took it more, not even take it more serious, because I was recording and putting stuff out, but I just didn't even think of like promotion or like anything or like.
Yeah, but yo, it's really like difficult too in the early stages.
Yeah.
You don't even know. I think when you first start rapping, you first start putting it out, you don't even think that promotion is something you have to do.
No, yeah, most definitely.
You're just like, oh, I put the song out.
Yeah.
Listen to it. It's out. Like, I put a song out. But then you start to realize that it's like a commodity and that like there's like a target audience for it and everything. And
well, that's the thing. So back to the John Cage thing, I was really like when I went to college, I really got into like punk rock music.
Yeah.
And the thing that interested me was that some punk rock bands didn't know how to play their instruments.
Right.
And that's
crazy.
I mean, it's like part myth. It's actually part myth. I mean, there is like one of my favorite bands of like all time is called The Germs.
The Germs?
Yeah.
Never heard of them.
And they only had like, I think they had one album.
Yeah.
No, they only have two albums.
Uh-huh.
Like one is like an album they released, and then the other one is like their complete discography.
Okay.
Yeah, and they're actually one of my favorite bands because they really didn't know how to play their instruments, and they were only really a band for like 5 years.
Uh-huh.
And
how did they make music?
They just like played, and like over time they just got better.
Wow.
So like yeah, it's like when
is it in key and shit? Like what's going on?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, at first, no.
I can see how you don't. Okay.
At first, it's not.
You don't know how to play like instruments, and you can still figure it out.
Yeah.
Like I feel like that must be. That just makes.
At first,
being
it's
in
not.
a band is difficult anyway. Like,
exactly.
Like,
yeah.
You're not. Y'all don't know how to play. That's
Yeah.
like, what the fuck are we doing? Like.
Well, that's the whole thing.
I gotta check out some of the Germs.
Yeah, but that's the thing about their complete discography, because like when you listen to that, I mean, when I listen to that like as an album, like you hear them getting better.
Wow.
And to be honest, they're a fire band.
Where are they from?
California.
Okay, sick.
Yeah.
Like 90s shit?
No, this is like 70s.
Oh, wow. Okay.
70s to I think like early 80s.
Wow. I feel like that's actually in a time where I bet a lot of people frowned upon that heavy.
Oh, most definitely. Yeah. People hated punk rock.
Yeah.
But like my whole thing, the reason why I liked it is because the whole like kind of going back to the whole John Cage philosophy of like anything can be music. And I feel like, like psychedelic rock in the 60s, they like really attempted to do that. Like stuff like Pink Floyd and I don't know, just like Grateful Dead and stuff. But the thing is, those dudes were well-trained musicians.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like, there was still like this element of like, we're trying to impress people because we're trained and we're like, we're like practice every day and shit.
Right.
So when I heard of punk rock, I was like, oh, these are people that are like literally just what they express. Like that's it. And I don't know why. I just found that like fascinating when I went to college and stuff.
Yeah. Well, it is fascinating.
Yeah. But even though I did learn later on though, that a lot of those bands, like it is a rumor, like a lot of early punk bands did know how to like play their musicians. And a lot of those dudes.
I'm sure that's,
Yeah, a lot of those dudes were talented. They just played in a way that made people think that they didn't know how to play,
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Well, definitely. I mean, that's even when, do you ever get to points with music where you feel like you have to like dumb it down because people aren't going to necessarily like.
Yeah.
I almost feel like that's sort of a similar idea. It's like once, I mean, I bet.
Yeah, most
like
definitely.
Certain musicians that might even be classically trained as like a kid or something. Then once you become like 19, 20, you're like all of a sudden making like insane, experimental music because you're like, fuck this. I kind of heard it all, seen it all. Like, I want to make something like new and unique.
Yeah. Well, I still think of like the punk rock thing because like that was another thing that interested me about that was like, so I was a big fan of Mad Villain.
Mm-hmm.
And punk rock, that was the only other genre of music where I saw they had like 1 minute, 2 minute songs.
Okay, yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is interesting. So like, why is MF Doom also doing that? And like,
Right.
I don't know. I still kind of see it like, kind of like the lane of what I do is kind of like a, I don't know, a punk rock rap thing. Even though it doesn't include the actual music, but
Right.
I still see it as like this kind of raw, I don't know, this raw picture of just what rap is.
Yeah.
As opposed to like this very polished thing.
This polished thing.
Yeah.
No, that's really cool, and I mean that conveys so much better most of the time. I feel like it's really a direct like emotion or like feeling more so than it is like an attempt to create something that's almost like for the masses. I don't know.
Yeah. But that's the funny thing too, because sometimes when you don't want to create something for the masses, that ends up being for the masses. You know, because like with
Facts.
that's a punk rock is a good example of that.
Yeah, definitely.
You know,
Yeah.
but basically, I don't know. I was saying all that to say like that kind of put me in a very kind of like it put me in a mind state of where I didn't really consider business when it came to music.
Mm-hmm.
And that's probably that's why the reason when I do look back on my older music, I'm like, oh, I didn't really go as hard.
Yeah.
You know, because I wasn't really thinking about necessarily of it as a business.
Well, I still
And,
noticed there's
yeah.
still I never, not to cut you off, but
Yeah.
I've never seen someone almost have a social media presence like you,
Yeah.
like a rapper. I mean,
Yeah.
you're very open. You don't sugarcoat things. You just tell people exactly what it is, like literally exactly what it is. I recorded a song in my car yesterday. My computer almost died. And I think that shit is so fucking cool. As like a fan of yours, like I really enjoy that shit. And I'm
Yeah.
sure your fans do too, because it's like they feel like they're part of the process. Like you're like uploading the album this week, may not have it up by it's like that's cool as hell. Like so many artists will be like they'll lie and be like it's being held up by distribution,
Yeah.
or like I don't know, look at that, like I'm working with the this or the this or the I don't know. So you gotta just. So sometimes it's cool to be that open about it. I think.
Yeah.
Very,
But I also get that from a lot of punk rock groups. That's how they kind of go along. You know, I mean, I remember I used to read interviews with these people, and they would be like, they would talk about their biggest song, and they'd be like, "Oh, we hate that song." And I'd be like, "Yo, how could you even do that?"
Fuck it.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
But-
it's cool, bro. It's really like, because it's like
Yeah.
honest. It's very honest. I mean, that's how I operate.
Yeah.
Let me like look at me something like, yeah. I don't know if I don't get it from punk rock, but I'm overly honest.
Yeah. But basically, back to how I joined Archiects. So I'm just like consistently dropping music, and I don't know. I just like I collabed with Josh a couple times, and then he told me about Urbvn Archiects, and I just asked him if I could be in it,
Yeah.
and he was like, yeah. And then this was before mutual understandings or anything, and then we recorded that album, and then that was pretty much it.
So, but you're in Albany. You moved to Albany when you're 15.
Yeah.
But then, you went to school in Albany.
I went to Buffalo.
Yeah. But so like, how are you getting back down to like Queens to record with?
So at first I was just driving down,
Uh-huh.
but then when I joined Archiects, I just drove down and moved because my parents had an apartment in like Valley Stream,
Mm-hmm.
so I just like stayed there.
Yeah, no, sick.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That you got to like make that work and shit. You got to link up with them for all those. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was definitely like a really dope. It was just dope.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
what year is that when you meet up with Archiects, when y'all start putting shit out, like 2017?
Yeah,
2018?
2017.
Nice.
Yeah.
That was a time. That was a time in like internet music, hip hop, SoundCloud. I feel like things were very exciting.
Yeah, most definitely. I remember, I don't know, just a lot of different stuff. XXXTentacion.
Yeah.
Lil Peep
Lil
and stuff.
Pump, Lil Peep.
Yeah, Little Pump.
Yeah.
Which is all, all that stuff is like interesting because I feel like I was listening to like a lot of earlier SoundCloud stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because basically, so going back to like 2012 shit, I remember when ASAP Rocky came out and like Little B and like Odd Future and all that stuff. And that got me into blogs.
And Spaceghostpurpp.
Yeah, Spaceghostpurpp.
I thought it was mind blowing when I found out that like the
Yeah.
reason why ASAP does the V's as A's, the
Yeah,
A's as V's is is
Well,
Sesh Hollow Water Boys, basically.
Yeah.
Like Spaceghostpurpp, like all those
Yeah.
guys and shit.
And the reason Urbvn Archiects has a V in it, that's the same thing,
Same
you know.
thing. Ew.
So
What,
just,
yeah, Urban Archiects has the V.
So it's just like, I mean, that shit really like influenced culture like differently.
Right.
I don't know, it's just different, yo.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
it's
it's like
just
the
fire.
ripple of that is insane because people just do things like that now, and it's like,
Yeah.
that was really Spaceghostpurpp's thing. But that music also really heavily, it has like a very direct link to 2017's
Yeah.
kind of rappers who blew up. It was
Mhm.
those are clearly the people who were like, you know, in a very influential time listening to that 2010s music. Like Lil Pump, clearly very influenced by like Amigos,
Yeah.
like Quavo,
Yeah.
like Lil Peep. I mean, Lil Peep is kind of an amalgamation of like a lot of different things. Like you could
Mhm.
tell the guy like listened to like, you know, the Red Hot Chili Peppers,
Yeah.
and like punk and shit too. And like,
Well,
you know,
so here's the crazy thing with Lil Peep. Like, there was like, because I remember before he got like really popular, there was like a whole like SoundCloud scene of like people who made like I don't know, it was almost like parody of like emo music.
yeah,
And it was just like, but it wasn't a parody. You know what it was? It was the whole Little B thing, where it was like, this is funny, but is it a parody? Is it not a parody? You know what I mean?
yeah,
And they kind of had that for like I don't know, kind of emo music.
right,
And it's funny because when Lil Peep blew up, it's like his music kind of lost all that. Like people just took it like very serious, like for what it was.
yeah,
And I remember even like there's a dude who sampled Lil Peep. No, there's a dude who was sampled by Lil Peep.
yeah.
Actually, a very good band called the Microphones. I don't know if you ever heard of the Microphones.
What song is it by Lil Peep?
Uh,
Do you remember?
Nah, I don't remember.
He actually has some fucking ill samples.
Yeah, I don't remember, but I think I want to say it's
Like Smoke a Sack and Nedarb.
Yeah.
Those guys like chopped up like when they were making his. You could tell.
Yeah, those dudes are fire.
They were making some really interesting beats. Like that influenced me. Those guys influenced me to make beats crazy.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
the
those dudes are fire.
hi hat, like the steady like hi hat on like the 16th note, like every time. Like I don't know, like
Yeah.
or the 8th note. Like I just like certain things that like they did in those like Lil Peep songs, like
Yeah.
very blown out and
Yeah, yo, and it was fire. Like I love the production. I mean, I like Lil Peep's music overall.
me too, for sure.
But it's just interesting because like, I mean, part of the reason why I liked it is because I liked Lil B.
Yeah.
And I kind of felt like Lil Peep was like, I don't know, he was like the Lil B of emo music.
Well, yeah.
Like whereas
definitely.
like, yeah, it was like this complex understanding of it, of where it was like, on one hand, it was very like depressing music.
Yeah.
But then on another hand, it was kind of like this weird, not weird, but like it was like this, like capturing that like emo MySpace aesthetic.
Right. I remember when I first saw Lil Peep. Right. No, that's so true.
Yeah, which is
that's like the kids. That's people who grew up in the time of MySpace being popping and shit. So,
I'm one of those people that grew up during that time.
Yeah.
Like I remember like fucking like I didn't listen to like My Chemical Romance and stuff like that, but I remember when they came out and everything.
Yep.
You know. And like Panic at the Disco and shit like that.
Yeah.
And so like when I saw Lil Peep, I was like, oh, this makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah.
You know, and I kind of almost felt like it was like an age, you know, almost like an age thing.
Right. I also tie him a lot to Florida, even though he's not a Florida artist. I don't know why. I like always think of him as like, I don't know, like Puya or like Fat Nick, like that like Florida underground SoundCloud scene, which is a stem from like like ULT, like Denzel Curry.
Yeah. I could kind of see that.
Shit. I don't know why that associates in my head. I think he always hung out with those guys too, which is maybe it.
Yeah, I'm not entirely. I know he was like hanging with like Little Tracy and stuff.
For sure.
And I was actually a big fan of Little Tracy when I was in college, like before I even knew about Lil Peep. And I don't know, yo. I just thought it's weird seeing that type of music blow up because after like Lil Peep passed, I've seen people. Like I've met people who like, I don't know, I could kind of tell they don't get the music. Like they take it as this very serious thing, this very serious, almost tragic artist thing. And to be honest, I never like looked at Lil Peep's music like that. Like, I mean, there are parts of it that are depressing, but I always kind of felt like he was somewhat self-aware of the aesthetic. You know, I felt like he was kind of building an aesthetic almost.
Right.
At times.
What do you think Tracy's dad thinks of Tracy's music? Probably loves it, right?
Maybe.
I think Butterfly thinks of Tracy's music.
I have no idea.
What would you guess?
No, to be honest, I would say he doesn't like it. Yeah, because there's like a thing. I don't know.
He has like a face tat that says Coke.
Oh, really?
Tracy.
That's crazy.
He's got some crazy crazy tattoo. He's like Coke right here. No, I love Lil Tracy. I'm not like shitting on him or nothing, but seems funny.
Yeah, no, it's definitely it's funny because it's like two different sides of like the hip hop, the hip hop spectrum, I guess.
Right. His dad was in Diggable Planets.
Yeah.
And he's like bringing back punk, Xanax, like Xanax rap and shit. You get a lot of like Doom comparisons. I feel like.
All the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the time. And actually, like, before MF Doom passed, I was gonna make a song called "I'm Not MF Doom," and
that would have been sick.
And there was gonna be a whole concept track of just me being like, "I'm not MF Doom," and like people keep calling me MF Doom, and that was gonna be the concept for the song. But then I don't know. Then Doom passed, and I was like, I don't really want to. It feels weird.
It would just come off a little different. I think. Yeah.
And then like also too, I'm like, that's just gonna invite more people to keep calling me saying I rap like MF Doom.
Right.
But here's my honest opinion about that though. I think like Doom, I think a lot of rappers rap like Doom. Like even when I was listening to the Drake and 21 Savage album, even when I listened to like Certified Lover Boy, there was certain shit on there. I'm like, this sounds very MF Doomish. This sounds like something MF Doom would do.
Well, Drake probably loves MF Doom.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like every rapper at this point has like a little bit of Doom.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I feel like there's certain rappers, and I don't think, I'm gonna be honest though, I don't think this means that someone's great. I think this is just something that happens in music and culture, whereas like you have one person that raps and it kind of like changes how everyone else does shit. So like at first, like it was like Rakim. Like Rakim rapped, and now everyone was just like
change their flow and shit.
Yeah, everyone's like, yo, I'm gonna be a little smoother and like less aggressive on the beat. And then like, like you have Nas that starts rapping. And everyone's trying to, rap like Nas now.
Yeah.
So then you have another example is like early 2000s Jay-Z. Like I've heard so many rappers where I'm like, damn, they just did some Jay-Z shit. Like I've heard Mac Miller. Like I'll be listening to him and I'm like, damn, he just did some Jay-Z shit. So like I feel
deliberate.
I feel like at the same time, and it's actually really dope if you think about it. I feel like that's MF Doom now.
Yeah.
Like I hear his sound like literally sprinkled through so much different type of music.
That's fucking so cool.
Yeah.
I honestly haven't noticed that in the same way, but like it's probably just, it's there. I just haven't like.
Yeah, I mean, it's like also production choices too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the arrangements on Mad Villainy are so cool.
Yeah.
They're unique.
Yeah.
Kind of like Apex, and then I feel like they're just like a ramp up to like the end and then it ends.
Yeah, yeah.
Or there's like two hooks at the end.
No, it's dope how it creates like a whole world of itself.
Yeah.
But yeah, honestly, like a lot of people compare me to Doom, but honestly, the most I would say the best rap comparison I got was a dude that said I rap like Saphir.
Holy shit.
So Saphir is he's like an old like Oakland rapper.
I've only heard of Saphir because of you.
Oh, okay, word. So I've told you about
Yeah.
Yeah. So he had an album called Boxcar Sessions.
Okay.
And he was do you know who like Hieroglyphics? You know Hieroglyphics?
Familiar. Also Oakland?
Yeah, also Oakland.
Uh-huh.
So like they started like beefing.
Who's in Hieroglyphics?
Casual, A+, Opio. I don't know if I can name all of them.
What's his name? Oakland. Who's the biggest Oakland guy?
E40.
E40.
Yeah.
Is he in that scene?
E40, Too Short.
Too Short. Yeah.
Well, no,
Short.
That's a different scene. That's like, well, E40. That's like E40 is like Young Jeezy before Young Jeezy.
Right.
Like he's like smart street rap.
Yeah.
And then Too Short, that's like pimp rap.
Okay.
And then Casual and Saphir, that's like, skating and like, I don't know, doing bong rips rap.
Right. Yeah. You described it so well, man. Holy shit.
So basically, Saphir, he had a very legendary rap battle. Oh, this also involves Sway from Sway in the Morning. He had a very legendary rap battle with Casual from Hieroglyphics on Sway in the Morning. Or no, I don't think it was before Sway in the Morning, but it was Sway's radio show, I think.
Wow.
And but yeah, he's this dude who has like kind of like a monotone flow, but he's kind of like, I don't know, a little unpredictable with how he's on the beat. And it like he borders that offbeatness, but then he's like not.
Yeah.
And honestly, that's kind of probably like I do look at my stuff as like a modern, I guess, day version of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, of what like Saphir was doing. And I think he's still doing. Like I still think Saphir makes music.
Music.
Yeah.
No, that's super tight. Wow. So like you're There's Always Hope Volume 1 and 2, the two new projects that came out like more recently. What's like the name behind that? Like what does it mean? There's always hope. It seems very self-explanatory, but like
yeah.
I guess, is there anything you'd want to add to the title? Like there's always hope. I mean,
I think there's like
why isn't there hope, Kush?
I think there's like a powerful thing with like just like hope and conviction.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's also like a dangerous thing.
Right.
Because like, you know, cult leaders have very powerful like conviction and stuff and like faith. But like I don't know, yo. I think that's just the title of what I like wanted to call it.
Right.
And also just to like, I don't know, have a reassuring, nice. I think it's just nice to have a positive title to things. To break it down to be the most simple, it's nice to like, I don't know, give out positive energy to the world through the title.
I totally agree. I definitely agree.
Yeah.
Well, the albums are like your best work yet, in my opinion.
Thanks, yo.
I heard man. Volume 1 fully through on YouTube probably a week after it came out. That was when? September?
Yeah, September.
Yeah. Loved that. There's so many moments that stick out to me. And then you came to me and I got to mix Always Hope Volume 2, which is really sick. And that's such a good one. I love some songs on there. But like you're picking songs for that. Is there any like musical specific direction that you're trying to go in, or what's giving you that conviction to make these songs for this project, like musically, I guess?
So I was inspired for Volume 1. I was inspired kind of like I was inspired by this indie band called the Mountain Goats. So they make like folk songs. It's actually one dude and he kind of just has like rotating people that collab with him. But they make like these very weird folk songs.
I'm gonna clip it, so like you're gonna see a picture of the band on top of us when they watch this.
Okay, word. Yeah. You should even you could even put in one of their songs.
Okay, yeah.
But basically,
I'll put like links in the description for a lot of the shit we're talking about throughout.
Okay, word.
Like I want to put a link for like Saphir, like the Saphir freestyle and Sway that you're talking about.
Oh, definitely.
This is a really cool interview. I mean, I'm learning a lot about not only you, but you're like an encyclopedia, man. You know a lot about this hip hop shit, and it's really cool as like a hip hop fan. I mean, I don't know nearly as much as you. I'm also younger than you, but that's not an excuse. But it's awesome to talk to someone like this. It's really sick.
Well, you know, it's cool, but I've also had to come to terms with like the fact that like it doesn't matter if you know that much about music, man.
Well, no, I don't think so.
Not saying like
I
you
think
specifically,
I think
but
it's
just
important
anyone.
to be interested, though. I think I get definitely unattracted. I definitely get turned like kind of like at this point. If people aren't like, if they don't want to learn more, especially if you're in your 20s, I'm like, bro, what the fuck? Like, I don't know.
But I used to really like think like that, and I used to be like very hardcore about that.
Yeah,
like about like, oh nah, if you got to be like, if you're into rap, you gotta know about, you have to at least listen to Ready to Die at least once.
But do you think do you think that part of making music is and being good at it, because you're if you don't have an understanding of all the different eras and all the different styles that have already been extinguished and happened already, or maybe been visited, how do you make your imprint effectively?
Exactly. But then it all depends on like, I guess like how people listen to music.
Yeah, that's
and like,
totally it.
Yeah, because like I kind of realized once I went to college that you can be a successful artist and you don't have to really know anything about like music. Well, no, I'm not going to say successful artist. I at least know with rap, you can be a successful rapper and know like little to nothing about the history of rap.
No doubt.
Yeah, and that kind of like, I'm not going front because that like depressed me when I first first thought about that.
Yeah.
But over time, I had to really like kind of accept like, you know, it's just sound and stuff. Like,
Of course. Well, it's also like hip hop has become such an enormous genre
yeah,
that it's kind of what comes with it,
yeah,
in my opinion, is the way I look at it. It's like,
exactly, yeah.
you're not gonna have that purity that you used to have with it. It's a huge thing now. Now you have people that don't even, I mean, 13, 15-year-old kids, unless they do make that
Yeah.
jump into the old thing, they don't even know any of that shit. People just generalize, you know, old school beats. Like I was laughing before you said old school music. I mean, people all the time will be like, yeah, I want to get on a boom bap beat. Just like, bro, like what?
Oh, but you know, I mean, yo, it's
A
crazy.
Griselda type beat. Like that's not how you describe music, respectfully.
It's crazy now. I've talked to people, bro, like people younger than me, and they'll be like, oh, yo, that's some old school shit. And I'll be like, yo, what's old school? And they'll be like, you know, like 50 Cent or like Dipset. And I'm like, what?
right.
I'm
It's
like, bro,
wait, oh shit.
old school to me is like this KRS-One.
Yeah. Why
know,
don't you
but-
think MF Doom is like looked at as like a lyrical, miracle, spiritual type rapper? Because he's obviously not, and obviously,
Yeah,
like,
he's-
there's like some
I mean-
difference in quality. But like, how would you describe that?
I mean, it depends on, once again, it's all perspective. I do think there are people that look at MF Doom like that.
Hell no.
Really?
I mean, if they do, they have like I don't know, man. That's like,
I mean, people that don't listen to Doom, like, that don't.
I guess I don't know, man. I feel like I feel
Yeah.
like if you hear Doom, you're at least like, this guy's clever as shit.
Well, you know
Whereas,
what?
Like, the lyrical, miracle,
actually-
spiritual thing kind of comes from like
Yeah,
a
yeah.
lack of, I don't know.
No,
'Cause
I know
was
what
just
you're
thinking
saying.
This, and that's
Yeah.
why I asked. I don't really have an answer.
No, I know what
That's
you're.
not
No,
I fucking know.
I actually know what you're saying because, like, and this is all due respect to like Papoose, but like, it's like the difference between like how people look at like Papoose
Yeah.
as opposed to like MF Doom.
Right.
I think that's like, to be honest, yo, the older I get, the more I realize like a lot of music is like marketing,
Yeah.
and it doesn't have to be like. That sounds like, I don't know, because when I first kind of got onto that idea, it was like, I don't know, it was almost like
You want water?
No, I'm good. But when I first got onto that idea, it was almost like whatchamacallit, like depressing a little bit. Because it's like, oh, a lot of things that exist within rap are kind of like there for like marketing purposes. Like, for example, like when someone says they're the greatest rapper ever. Like, I don't think me, and just like going back to like how you said I'm like an encyclopedia. When I was a kid and I was younger, like I really thought like if you said you were the greatest rapper ever, I thought that meant you really went through all the rap albums and you like compared your shit. You know what I mean? But now I got older and I'm just realizing, oh no, they're saying that because that's like attention grabbing. Like you say you're the greatest rapper, that's gonna make people want to be like,
Like-
okay, are you really?
Right.
You
Who
know?
the fuck are you? Like, let's listen. To
Yeah.
this.
And it's also like,
I
Just-
love Joey Badass, but he said he was the greatest rapper ever on his
Yeah.
last album, and I was like,
every rapper says that at some point. But yeah, no, so I kind of realized whatchamacallit, like back to the whole MF Doom thing, that MF Doom like had a great way of like marketing himself and just like placing his raps in a way of where it's like they cannot be seen in that lyrical miracle kind of light.
yeah,
As opposed to like where other artists, they almost like leaned into that. Like, and that's why I kind of used Papoose as an example.
yeah,
Because like you have the whole alphabet slaughter thing. It's almost like, okay, look at like how lyrical I am.
right.
Whereas with MF Doom, it's like you have to actually listen and like try to understand in order to just know how lyrical he is.
Yeah.
You know?
No, that's a great way to put it. I think also like earlier KMD was like a little bit more fun when he was
Yeah.
with what's his cousin's name, brother's name? I'm forgetting.
Oh, Sub Rock.
Sub Rock.
Yeah.
When he was with Sub Rock, yeah, they were making some more like I feel like it was more fun,
Yeah.
the music. And after Sub Rock died, he might have gone down that like fuck it, like I'm gonna just kind of
Yeah.
I'm gonna make this really good, just different kind of music.
But you know, Doom is still fun. His music's still fun though.
Oh no, definitely.
And I think that's part of the
I'm
reason.
making him sound like he's no fun.
No, not even that. I think that's part of the other reason why he's not seen as like lyrical miracle type rapper. Because I don't know, that whole lane is like they're constantly trying to impress you with each bar type stuff. I
Yeah.
feel like Doom, he wrote in a way where it's like he was only really like trying to impress himself.
Right. I think that
Yeah.
the mindset is so fucking interesting of like looking at like listening to Eminem or something and being like, he's the best rapper ever, so like I'm only gonna listen to him. Or,
Yeah.
like, I don't know, people like get like that with certain artists or something. Like even I think it's with certain people like don't like about like the whole thing with like J. Cole on like social media, these like
Oh,
on
yeah.
like the internet, which is kind of a shame. But like I think it kind of stems from like people who are J. Cole fans are a little bit snobby. Like they
Yeah.
come to like this snobby sort of place, or like almost rightfully so, because it's like no one can really fuck with him other than like Kendrick or maybe like
Yeah.
Jay Electron, like some like top tier rappers, you know,
Yeah.
Lupe Fiasco, like.
But that's the thing. That's
Royce.
the thing too, because like I fuck with J. Cole.
But it's like it's not really for most people. It's not really about like the craft of rapping. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, bro, no one gives a shit.
It's
like,
about
it's
the
about
dude.
the music,
Yeah.
or the person, or the
Exactly,
right.
yeah.
It's marketing, just
The
like
whole-
you-
it's the
just like
whole-
you said, yeah.
Exactly, like it's the whole like marketing of it, yo. Because I was like, and I don't hate J. Cole.
Yeah.
I don't like listen to him all that much.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember when
Did you used to listen to him more, or not even?
I really like the Missy Elliott song. Nobody's Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I never really listened to him all that much, and like it was weird when I seen like how big of a fan base he had, because it always made me wonder like, why aren't these people like also fans of like Talib Kweli and like
Yeah.
and I'm just saying that because like, you know, J. Cole's whole kind of thing, I kind of felt like it was one of those things where it's like I seen like this kind of rapper before.
Yeah.
And it was just, but at the same time, I guess it is like a marketing thing.
Did you see Black Stars on SNL yesterday?
Oh no, I didn't see that.
I didn't
Yeah.
get to see it, but I was like,
Yeah, I heard
that's
about
cool.
it. Yeah. Did you hear the new Black Star album?
No.
Okay,
I didn't even know it was a thing, bro.
I caught it
When
on
did it come out?
YouTube. I caught it on
Oh, it's the one that's on exclusive.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
No. I did know that's a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I'm that's not like new.
Yeah, no, it's not that new.
No, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like they came out with a new album like this month or something.
Yeah.
That's why they're on promo. But no, I would love to listen to it. But I remember when I went to sign in to that thing, like it was like it sent me through so many like sign in with your Google password's incorrect. This, that, and I was like, oh, you know what? This is just not what I'm doing right now.
It was on YouTube for a little while, but then it got taken down because of copyright.
Yeah. So you got these albums that are out, fucking awesome
Yeah.
shit. Like going forward, anything, any musical directions that you're like trying to explore, like production wise, or place like any genres of music you're listening to that's like shit, I might make some music like this.
Yeah,
Drop
most
some
definitely.
techno soon, some techno Kush or
I
something.
mean, no, I'm not gonna do anything like that. I'm just
You're not
mainly
gonna go house.
No, I'm
You're not
mainly
gonna
just
go drum and bass on us.
Nah, yo, I mean that would be cool.
That would be insane, man.
That'd be fire. But like I'm just like really kind of sticking to like the jazz samples and like I don't know. I think there's so much dope shit going on in underground rap that it's just like I'm gonna try to like I don't know ride that wave a little bit.
As you should, bro. As you should, because you're like a grandmaster at it, and I'm not just saying that.
Thanks, man.
For sure.
Thanks.
For sure. Like anyone I show your shit to, they're like, this is some really special shit. In terms of, I mean, using the term lyrical rappers is not something that I like to do at all, because every rapper has fucking lyrics.
Yeah.
But in terms of lyrical rappers, in terms of rappers that have more like substance, and that's what they're actually going for. Because I think a lot of people, even me sometimes, I go for more of like a feel.
Yeah.
When I write, I'm like, you know what? I don't necessarily have to be killing on every punchline, as long as this is something that makes me kind of feel like I was introspective in some way, even towards myself, make myself think. Also, just like an outlet, but no, with the craft of rapping, man, you're amazing, and it's all
I
kind
mean,
of.
thank you.
Of course, bro. No, but it makes sense. I mean, I'm not just saying that because you're my friend and like I record you and shit, but I really mean it, and I can tell by like when I show people your shit and the way they react and stuff.
I was gonna say in terms of like direction of where I'm going with the writing.
Yeah,
I am trying to like. I'm really into like indie rock right now.
Yeah.
And I've been like, in terms of songwriting, that's like what's like influencing me. And I kind of feel like, I don't know. I'm a big fan of like this band called Velvet Underground. And I feel like
Fire.
Yeah, and I'm trying to like kind of write songs how they were kind of writing songs and like, I don't even know how to describe it, yo. It's less of like kind of punchline rap and more of like just trying to capture like little moments that I've seen in like life, I guess. you know, like just like how Finn was talking about the line of like
Shout out Third Rev.
yeah, just like how Finn was talking about that line I don't know what's funny, but I'm only laughing because you are. Yeah, that's like a good example of like the kind of bars I'm trying to do.
Right.
Where it's like these kind of like, I don't know, because like I've been in a
You
situation.
felt like that before.
Yeah, I felt like that, and I've seen
And a
like
lot of us have. So when we hear it, it's like, oh yeah.
yeah, yo, and it's like I've seen situations like where like I'm in a crowd of people and someone will say a joke and like I'm laughing at the joke and I'll see someone else like kind of laugh, and then like I'll notice like after a while, like by talking to that person, I'll notice after a while, like, oh, you didn't get that joke. You had no idea what we were just laughing about. And I think that's like an interesting thing to kind of like just, I don't know, to capture in a rap song. And I noticed like indie rock bands do that really well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. No, that's really fucking cool, man. I love that. Yeah, the producer rapper combination of an album, like one producer, one rapper, isn't something that you did for these albums, but I know that's something that you've, like, me and you have definitely talked about in the past, is like a really cool. We were talking about the Wiki Navy Blue album.
Yeah.
Well, it was Wiki's album. What was it called?
What, the Wiki Navy Blue one?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know off the top of my head.
Right. But it was we're just talking about the idea of having one producer, even if it's like Jay-Z with like No ID, or, you know, Nas lately with
Hit Boy?
With Hit Boy.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool to have that.
Yeah, no, that would be dope, yo. That would be fire. Like, I really want, like...
I'm thinking of Half God.
Oh, Half God.
Half God.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, nah, yo, I want to find, like, a producer that would be down to, like...
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing is, too, I'm just, like, I don't know, I've just been, like, finding beats and stuff.
Yeah.
But I would love to do just, like, a one producer album.
Yeah.
That'd be fire.
I gotta ask, like, about Tears for Fears type beat.
Yeah.
And also Got Love for Da Westcoast.
Yeah.
For Da Westcoast, like, like that one is a different kind of beat for you. You slayed on it, bro. Like, you went crazy, but what made you pick that? So we'll start with the 03 Greedo West Coast one.
Okay, so Got Love for the West Coast. The reason I made that is because, like, I am a big fan of just West Coast rap music. Like, I always been. You
got fans out there?
I don't even really have fans out there. I got a friend out there. A 4-dimensional hitchhiker.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the dude that gave me the USB mic to start. To start recording.
Real one. What's his name?
A 4-dimensional hitchhiker.
Shout out.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll be watching this.
Oh, most definitely. Yeah, most definitely. But yeah, yo, I just always had like a fascination with West Coast rap, and I kind of feel like I just wanted to like showcase that. Also, too, just to go with the MF Doom comparisons, because I'm like, maybe this will make people, you know, stop saying I rap like MF Doom.
Right. He can't make the I'm not MF Doom anymore, so he's gonna make the Got Love for the West Coast on some crazy, like, what's the type beat that is? That's like a
Shoreline Mafia type beat.
Right. But it's like G-Funk, like
yeah. No, it's definitely like it's like an E40 type beat. Yeah. I mean, like, I don't know. I just did that too. That was just kind of me having fun.
Yeah. No, I was asking about E40 before because I was listening to E40, but I wasn't sure if he was part of the scene with that you were talking about.
Oh yeah, with Saphir and everyone.
Saphir, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's all Oakland rap at the end of the day, but it was two like very different kind of scenes of rap.
Yeah.
But yo, it's actually funny. On E40's first album though, he shouts out Del the Funky Homo Sapien and Hieroglyphics.
Wow.
Which
That's
is such
dope. There you go.
Yeah, it's very.
You got a favorite MF Doom song?
Say Phasers.
Phasers.
Yeah, Phasers off the King Ghidra album.
The King Ghidra album, bro. I've only listened to that shit like a few times.
Yeah. I actually really like I like that album. I mean, Operation Doomsday.
Operation Doomsday is classic. That's the first shit I ever rapped on.
Oh, word.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fire.
Yeah.
That's fire.
Yeah.
I don't even know though, yo. I don't even know if I could say I have a favorite MF Doom song.
Yeah. You got a favorite rapper of all time? Not objective, like subjective, like your favorite
rapper.
That's also like so on the spot, but
should I do like a top 5?
If you got it. Super interested in your top 5.
I would say, okay, so I'm gonna go from like, I guess number 1 to 5.
Yeah.
I would say Nas is number 1, because Nas is just like I remember the first time hearing Illmatic, and that was a legitimate like life-changing moment.
Yeah.
Like there are only really like 3 rap albums that I could say like I heard, and then like all other rap music sounded different after.
Right.
And like Illmatic is one of them.
Wow.
But like,
I remember when I first heard Nas too. It was like,
yeah, it was like, what the hell?
What the hell?
So I would say Nas is number 1. Who's number 2? I would honestly, and this is gonna be like not controversial, but this is a very random pick. No one does, but I would say A$AP Rock is number 2.
Wow.
Because the way that dude rhymes, even now, like when I listen to his stuff now, I'm always like, this is just the best. Like this is this is like awesome. What every rapper should be trying to do. But like, I don't know. I guess, okay, so Nas, A$AP Rock, and then I say Tupac. I would say Tupac.
West Coast.
Yeah, West Coast. And honestly, I don't know if I should. Yeah, I guess I'll say Tupac.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I'll say Tupac. So I got 2 left. I'm not gonna say Jay-Z. Even though
he's not in your top 5?
Nah, because I don't, and I like Jay-Z as a rapper. I think Jay-Z's like very dope.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I feel like sometimes the way Jay-Z like I don't know, I guess how he attacks a beat.
Yeah.
Like I actually relate to that, because sometimes I feel like he makes the same.
Jay-Z's my number 1.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, word.
Like crazy. I mean, just like my favorite, like my favorite rapper.
Like he's like, I do like Jay-Z a lot.
Yeah.
But I just don't think he's like the top. I just don't think he's the top rapper.
Yeah. I don't know. I take many things into account when I say it, because it's like there's other people's almost like there's almost other people's music that I like enjoy more, but like the way his music influenced me and the way I go back to his music and like get more out of it every time, it's just like he's my favorite rapper for sure.
Yeah. I'm gonna say
like we're talking about you.
Yeah.
But like it's I'm just saying like it's fun. Like I thought he would definitely make your top 5 maybe. I don't know.
No, yo. I mean, and I like Jay-Z a lot, yo.
Yeah.
But I just never thought he was like the top rapper.
Yeah. I used to put Immortal Technique number 2.
Oh, that's fire.
When I was a kid.
That's fire.
Me and Finn used to be big into Immortal Technique.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was like where Eminem led us.
Yeah.
Which is kind of funny, but.
Oh, okay, that's fire.
Interesting, right?
I'm gonna say for number 4, Kool Keith.
Okay. That's a good one.
Yeah, and that's just based on like my style. Yeah. Like I feel like for a lot of underground rap, like I mean a lot of people that have abstract styles of rhyming, like Kool Keith kind of like laid the foundation for that.
Yeah.
And then I would say for number 5, yeah, I'm gonna just say Outkast. I would say Outkast.
Both of them?
Yeah, both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like their music together is just like so fires.
Yeah.
I don't like doing just one or the other.
No, it's true. Yeah. It's hard. It's hard to go one or the other with them because they work so well, like going off of each other.
Yeah.
I do love Andre 3000 by himself though. Pretty cool.
Yeah, no, he's fire. He's fire. He just doesn't have an album. I feel like
it's true.
Yeah, I'm like one of those people that think like if you don't have like an album, like I'm not even all about record sales. I just feel like if someone doesn't have just like that body of work, then like
it's like where is it?
Yeah, it's like how can you really be the greatest rapper?
Yeah.
Oh, also, I'm not going front. I could probably add 3 more.
Let's go. Let's hear who misses out on the.
Honestly, I would probably take out Outkast. And I would replace them with Wu-Tang.
Okay.
Yeah, and
that's kind of you can't really do that.
Yeah.
That's kind of against the rules.
That's against the rules.
I'm saying top 5 rappers.
Okay, all right. So I'll just like do Outkast.
That's a foul.
But I'm gonna put Wu-Tang. I gotta put Wu-Tang in there, yo.
Wait, but like they're like they're like 8 rappers.
But yo, every rapper of Wu-Tang though, like influenced me and like
even Outkast's a stretch. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Like, for top rappers debate.
I'm gonna put Outkast in there, yo. Yeah, just fuck it. But no, I would have to put Wu-Tang in there though, and I can't just put like one member from Wu-Tang.
Yeah.
Because
Alright,
like,
so we're changing his rap groups then.
But-
Rappers and rap groups.
Yeah.
Rap acts.
yeah. And I would also
That's
put MF Doom and Del the Funky Homo Sapien in there too.
I've never listened to Del the Funky Homo Sapien.
Yeah, he's fire. He's fire. I mean, I don't listen to him nearly as much now as I did when I was like in high school. But he's fire, and I feel like, I don't know, every time I go back to listen to him, I'm like, yo, this dude has done like a lot.
Right.
And like no one ever really talks about it.
That's pretty sick. It's amazing how much you know, man. It's so like telling throughout, like everything you've told makes so much sense compared to like, it's so evident like in the type of music you make.
Yeah, yo, yeah. But I was gonna say about Wu-Tang too, though. Like the reason why I can't pick one Wu-Tang member is because like, so like I've been listening to Wu-Tang probably since I was like 11 or 12 years old.
Yeah.
And they're like one of the few rap groups, or just like rappers in general, like those first couple Wu-Tang albums all age like better.
Yeah, they do.
Like I was listening to like Raekwon's first album, like I don't know, like this had to be like during the pandemic. And I was just like, yo, this shit sounds like a movie.
Yeah.
Like it just sounded like it was just crazy.
Cuban Links.
Yeah, Cuban Links.
Yeah. That shit sounds crazy.
Yeah, and all
Liquid Swords sounds crazy.
Exactly,
too.
yeah,
like,
yo.
Going back to like Liquid Swords or
all their albums. And like the thing is, as I get older, I always go back to those and I always find new shit.
Yeah. That's so like, that's the most beautiful thing, man, when you can go back to an artist that you've listened to so many times and still get more out of it. And
I mean, it's to the point where it's like, this is kind of funny, but it's to the point where it's like I've read like each of the Wu-Tang Clan members.
Yeah.
Like some of them are starting to drop books. And I've like read like a good portion of all those books. Like I read the RZA's book. I read like You God's book.
Well, there's got to be some great stories in there.
Yeah, it's fire. No, it's definitely fire. But it's just like, I don't know. It's just like it's dope when you just really, I don't know, see music like grow like with time and stuff. It's crazy.
Yeah. RZA's like into like directing now and stuff.
Yeah.
He's like he's done so many different creative like acts. Like, do you ever think of like
directing?
Just other mediums of creativity other than rapping?
Yeah. Actually, I mean,
because I know you were showing me a video today that you shot. Which is pretty sick. Or like that you're editing and it looks fantastic.
Yeah,
fantastic. That's a word.
Thanks, yo. Damn. Yeah, I would like to direct. I mean, I don't know how I'll go about doing that, but I'm a big fan of like films and shit. And I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm actually a big fan of horror movies and stuff. And I think like, I don't know. I think it would probably be like actually mad fun to like make a horror movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like you would make a good horror movie.
Or just any movie in general. Like I also like these like random artsy like short films and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, I would probably want to do something like that.
Right. Do you feel like horror movies end up falling into a trap where they're like kind of the same thing over and over again and not very scary?
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you like more like disturbing shit or like more like jump scares?
I like jump scares if they're done right.
Okay.
Like that movie Quiet Place. Like I thought that was okay.
Yeah.
You know. I mean, but me personally, I'd probably fuck with more like the psychological thriller type stuff.
Right. That's the kind of stuff I find like is more grabbing.
Yeah, and then some horror movies almost like, some of them are like almost like they move into this weird space of just like, I don't know, like random artsy shit.
Yeah.
So I kind of fuck with that too.
No, definitely.
Yeah.
It's a cool like genre of movie. I never really liked horror too much as a kid. I would watch it with like some of my friends sometimes.
Yeah.
As I've gotten older, I definitely like. I was even talking to you about Videodrome.
Yeah.
And that's actually on the Topics Flying podcast. Me and Anthony watched this YouTube video about. It was called Tales from the Loop. It's like it was like an illustration book about this basically alternate reality that is somewhere between the future and the past. So there's like
I think you told me about this.
There's like dinosaurs and Probably Dead, but basically they were showing all these different examples of movies that kind of have this idea of like purgatory sort of, or like a place of like nowhereness. But I don't know why they cited Videodrome as one of the movies that was kind of like aesthetically similar to this book.
Oh, okay.
And that shit looks crazy. But that's why I watched that Beyond the Rainbow one too.
Wait, that's interesting. So they're saying the thing in Videodrome is like purgatory?
I'm completely, I'm just generalizing.
Okay.
I don't remember exactly what the like reason for
The
them
connection
citing-
was?
the connection
Okay.
was exactly, but it was something to do with that. It was
Yeah.
something had to do with this like alternate reality thing.
But that's how you found out about Videodrome, basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Word, yo. Word. Yeah. No, I'm a big fan of like just horror movies. I mean, I'm the same like you. I always wasn't.
Yeah.
But me and my family used to watch like Halloween every Halloween, like the
Okay.
Michael Myers movie.
Yeah.
And my family also had like they had like a really good DVD collection,
Uh-huh.
and they had all like the Friday the 13th movies and all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
And I mean, honestly, some of that stuff is like it's like mad predictable.
Right. That's yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. I see like some sort of like creativeness in some of that stuff.
Totally. I asked you if there was any if you had a dead or alive person that you would want to sit and get a meal with. Pick their brain over some
Yeah.
Italian food or something.
Yeah, mad different people. Like I don't know. Maybe this is
Give us a few.
like Basquiat would be dope. I don't know, like Bob Marley. I mean, you know the band I was just talking about, the Germs?
Yeah.
So their lead singer, Darby Crash, that would be cool.
Darby Crash.
Yeah, Darby Crash is dope.
Darby Crash is a fucking sick name.
Yeah.
Darby Crash.
Shit. There's mad different. I guess Neil deGrasse Tyson.
I feel like someone said he was a dick.
Oh, really?
I don't know.
I don't even know what I would ask him.
Maybe that's just hearsay. We have Finn. He's better than Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yeah.
We have our own physicist.
Yeah.
On the team.
I mean, what do you mean like have a meal with, like just to have a conversation?
Yeah. Spend 45 minutes to an hour.
I
guess the meal thing is kind of a weird way to put it.
But no,
way to put the question.
No, that's a good way. No, I understand what you're saying.
Right.
To be honest though, I would I don't know, want to have a meal with like mad random people.
Right. Well, Basquiat and Bob Marley are good ones. I don't really know who I would like. Yeah. Someone like that.
But it would even be people that like I don't necessarily agree with. Like I don't know. I think it'd be interesting to just talk to someone who believes the Earth is flat.
Right.
And see like why.
Well,
like,
you could do that anyway.
Yeah, that is true. I can't just do that on YouTube or something. But I don't know. I don't know. I would sit down and talk to like anyone I feel like.
Yeah. I was gonna ask too. Like, I'm just curious, man, because you're such a fucking great MC. Like, when you're looking for, or when you listen to a rap and you're like, holy shit, this person's nice. And I'm more talking about like independent, smaller rappers that you'd maybe think about working with. Like,
yeah,
what's the stuff that kind of cuts through for you and like sticks out when you hear some new artists?
New artists?
Yeah. Because I feel like your like more mature outlook on music is not necessarily only caring about like the lyrical content at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I look for like things that like people say, and just try to see if it's like different. Like, I'm not really that big of a person that like, I don't care that much about content. Like, I feel like it's just more so how the content is kind of like presented and stuff. I don't even really know how to describe it, yo. Sometimes I just hear music and I'm just like, oh, this is fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, even though it may not have the things that like, I don't know, other music that I like before have, you know? I mean, like I've been listening to recently, this is kind of on a tangent, but there's like a big rap scene in Milwaukee. And it's like,
Milwaukee?
Yeah, in Milwaukee, yo. And it's like these guys that are rapping about like, I don't know, stealing Kias and shit.
Oh my god!
and like, but you know, it's funny because they have their
Remember the scam rap in Detroit a couple years
ago?
ago?
Yo, it's kind of like that. It's kind of honestly,
it's like
to
that guy TJ Money or TJ?
Oh, TJX6.
TJX6.
Yeah, yo, I don't even know what happened. Yo, he was on an HBO documentary too.
Yo, is he locked up?
No, he's still rapping.
Yeah. I
just don't know. I think he started scamming his fans really bad. Like I started seeing that a lot on Instagram. The fans would be like, yo, I paid TJX6 for a feature and he never sent it. And I think that really like
he's like, have you listened to my music?
Yeah. But yo, the Milwaukee
Easy
rap.
couple hundred. Get the fuck out of my face.
Yeah. But honestly, like the scam rap, I think they're kind of still doing it in Detroit. Like Baby Tron still raps.
Yeah.
And he still talks about the same things, I think.
Yeah.
But the Milwaukee rap is kind of like an offshoot of like the scam rap a little bit. Where it's like, I mean, beat wise, they kind of rap over the same things, but it's just, it sounds weirder and it's like less punchlines. And it's like, honestly, yo, it's like kind of just party music.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I don't know.
Is this stealing the cars for the precious metals thing?
No, not for.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
No, what's that?
I don't know. There's like, I forgot the thing that gets. There's a lot of robberies been happening in Queens lately. I'm saying Queens, but that's where I heard about it. But it's been happening all over in Manhattan, where there's like certain precious metals in this one thing that's under your car. I forgot what it's called. Can't think of it off.
No, it's not that. It's not that.
People just go like jack the car up, steal it, and it's happening like all over the place, like all the time. People just going out, like turning their car on, and then their car's just like,
damn, yo,
maintenance issue. This is missing or whatever.
Nah, well, damn, yo, no, it's not like that. Like I don't think they're taking apart the cars. It's just like there was a TikTok that dropped and said like, damn, I don't know if we should say this in the interview, but there's a TikTok that dropped.
We can cut anything out, so.
I mean, yeah. There's a TikTok that dropped that said you can steal a Kia car with a USB stick. And so I guess that dropped, and like people just started doing it in Milwaukee.
And you actually could?
Yeah, you actually can.
Yeah.
And it led to this problem where like there's like a bunch of like teenagers and all that type of stuff, and like young kids that are just like stealing cars, and they're like making rap music about it too.
That's so crazy.
But the thing is, the rap music, yo.
That type of shit is honestly so sick.
Yeah.
But it's not really that cool because it's like a lot of kids are going to get arrested and like...
Yeah, and it's bad too because like they're crashing the cars and stuff. Right. And it's like a lot of people are like
the energy of that music is... I already know that it's fucking awesome.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it reminds me of like when I first heard drill with like Chief Keef and shit.
Right.
Whereas like you just see these kids and you're just like, yo, where... Like why? Like this just looks weird.
How is this happening?
Yeah,
Where
like
are your parents?
And I've seen videos and it'll be like the kid will look like this kid will look 12, like just mad skinny and small, but he'll have like bands and like a fucking like AR-15. And I'm like, bro, where is this going on in America? But the reason I like.
Did you ever see that guy?
Yeah.
What were you saying?
Oh, I was gonna say though, just to kind of like bring it back. But that's a good example of music where it's like, I don't even like, I don't know, I'm more into like lyrical shit, and I wouldn't expect to like that. But I don't know, it just some shit just fascinates me, and I can't even like explain why almost.
Yeah. I mean, that's just like art and like the culture, I guess.
Yeah.
But when you were younger, did you kind of like safeguard it more? Like, I can't like this because it doesn't check these boxes off?
Most definitely. Because like, so it's interesting because I grew up like during like when the South was becoming popular. Mm-hmm. And I remember I used to watch MTV and they would play T.I. and like early Little Boosie.
And you were like, this is trash.
I always like kind of hated it. I mean, I was a fan of like T.I.
Yeah.
And like Young Jeezy.
Uh-huh.
And like New York shit.
Yeah.
But anything from the South, I kind of like hated on. And I think, honestly, I think that was a big problem in New York rap, yo. Like, I think rap overall, like in New York, like people didn't really respect the South at first, even when they were selling a lot of records.
Yeah.
Like even Gucci Mane, yo, like Gucci Mane didn't really become respected till like, I felt like kind of after he got out of jail.
Right. No, that's true.
Yeah, he was
also kind of wild before he went in jail, though.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, but like people didn't understand. Like the thing is, in New York, and
he came out of jail like literally just like he went into jail like a fucking mess, and he came out of jail like this like chiseled like like he came out of jail ripped and he looked great, and he was like, I've run every day for like he's like I'm like an amazing shape. It's like holy shit, good for you.
Yeah, yo, and it's just crazy too, cause like I remember when like Gucci Mane first came out, he had like a song called Lemonade and stuff.
Yeah, that's the classic.
And people in New York didn't really like I don't know, I felt like people didn't really fuck with it. But
it's kind of snobby.
But it's funny too, because when I moved to Albany, I had a friend that like had family in Mississippi. And he was like explaining to me, like, yo, when you go down to like the South, they play Gucci Mane and 3 6 Mafia, like how like people in New York play Jay-Z.
Yeah.
And I until that happened, like until like I actually started like, I don't know, I guess like meeting people from the South or whatever,
Yeah.
like when I went to college, I didn't really fully understand like that impact. And I didn't really have any like incentive or like, I don't know, I didn't have a desire to listen to any of that music.
Yeah. No, definitely. What do you
Yeah.
think of like what did you think the first time you heard like Future and Young Thug? Did you like them or were you like, nah?
No, I didn't like them.
Yeah, I remember
I
the
didn't
first
like
time I heard
them.
Future and I was like, this is not it. Like, this is terrible. And then I had like a moment
Yeah.
where I was like, oh, this is what this is.
Yeah.
And I still didn't really like it that much. But I like at least like listened to it. Maybe I listened to it when I worked out or something.
Mhm.
And then like I think towards the end of high school, I don't know. But I remember there were always kids in my high school that were listening to like famous decks like Rich the Kid.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
even like Chief Keef or like you know, just different kind of hip hop than me. And it took me like to like later in high school to like sort of understand that like
Mhm.
you know.
Well, with me it was really
it's more kind of nuanced and like gray than it is.
Yeah.
Than it really is like
Exactly.
This is the right way, this is the wrong way. Like,
well, with me it was really Chief Keef, because like
Yeah.
I remember when Chief Keef first like came out and stuff, and I would hear in interviews like he would talk about Gucci Mane, and then I was kind of like, I don't know, that made me kind of look into Gucci Mane, and it made me kind of realize, oh, trap music has its own like whole history thing of where it's like there are people out there that are like trap music heads.
Right.
You know?
Well, that's what I was saying about 2017 before, sort of, is like you get a lot of people. You got a lot of like Lil Pump, Smoke Perps, like I don't know, I feel like they really only know trap.
Exactly,
like, that's what they grew up with, whether it's for like
But yeah, I mean even now like when I heard
Matt Ox.
Matt Ox, yeah. But when I heard there's a new girl rapping.
You have a Matt Ox bar in There's Only Hope.
Yeah.
One.
Yeah, Matt Ox. Yo, who
with the plug look like the white boy plug, like what is it?
Like look like Matt Ox.
Yeah.
Oh,
but with Hemingway and the Have-Nots.
Writing a novel like Hemingway and the Have-Nots and shit. Yeah, yo.
Crazy.
But I was gonna say what was I gonna say? Oh, but yeah, like a good example, yo, like I don't know, yo, sometimes I just hear certain things in artists and that kind of sparks my interest.
Yeah.
Especially what like newer music, like I don't know how to describe it, but like you know the new artist like Glorilla.
I've heard of her.
Yeah, she's like signed to I forget who, some dude from Memphis.
I've heard of her. But
yeah.
I don't know. Young,
so,
is it who is?
She's like a young rapper.
No, I'm trying to think of who she's signed to from Memphis, because I think I know exactly who you're talking about.
I want to say Yo Gotti, or I don't know if it's but
like that.
But basically, so I heard Glorilla, right? Like I heard one of her songs, and she's using this same flow that was used in like this old Little Boosie song.
Really?
Yeah, yo. And I remember like when Little Boosie was coming up, I was like, yo, I've heard this flow before. And I was like, yo, that's a good example of someone like, yo, she's might be like a trap music head. You know, because why would you flip a Little Boosie flow in 2022?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's no disrespect to Lil Boosie, but you know, I remember when his music came out in like 2006. So that's a whole nother thing too, because when I found out about Chief Keef, it made me go back into like, okay, like where did Southern rap start? So then I started like, I mean, not Southern rap, but where did like trap music start?
Yeah.
So I started listening to like No Limit and like early Cash Money shit.
Yeah, T.I. no.
I mean, T.I., I mean, that was when I was younger when I listened to T.I.
Okay, but is it T.I. is like instrumental in the beginning
of
trap,
yeah, most
right?
definitely. But he's like early 2000s.
Right.
So I was trying to find out like before the early 2000s, like who was inspiring these guys and shit.
Wow, that's fucking crazy.
And that's really what made me kind of like understand trap music. Once I kind of understood like, oh, these dudes aren't trying to be like Jay-Z. They're trying to be like Master P. Or they're trying to be like Birdman.
Right.
You know, or they're trying to be like, I don't know, like Soulja Slim. Like there's all these like kind of like Southern rappers that kind of set the precedent of like, I don't know, who kind of like created this whole lane of like, I'm not a rapper, but I still rap type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's kind of like, honestly, when I see a lot of younger rappers now, that's what I kind of see them in the light as. I don't see them as like in the same way I look at it as like a Jay-Z or something.
No, totally. Like a lot of the drill rappers who kind of do like a dance or something to make themselves viral or something like that. Like I definitely more look at them as like definitely an influencer and like public figure and like but I'm not necessarily like, oh, you're a rapper. But I mean, it's
Yeah.
still kind of, I don't know, and it has to do with kind of like the just getting people to follow you and being, I don't know, your style and
Yeah.
what you represent and stuff.
Yeah, and that you know, I mean that it is all marketing, but I guess there is like an art to that stuff too.
Yeah, definitely.
Like if you ever look at like a lot of like the old like No Limit album covers,
Yeah.
like people used to, you know, I mean people would say, honestly, people would say those are like some of the worst album covers ever.
Yeah.
But now it's like an aesthetic thing to now where it's like you'll have a very popular artist where like Nicki Minaj might come out with like a No Limit style album cover type
Right.
thing.
Is
you
that
know?
like all the different like things kind of pasted on it?
Yeah, it's like it looks like mad early 2000s ish. Like
Mhm.
someone made it with like I don't know, like Microsoft Paint or something.
Right.
But even that now that's an aesthetic for something. So I think that's cool. Like once exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's sick.
And
That kind of reminds me of what's his name a little bit in a lot of ways. Spaceghostpurpp.
exactly, yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
a
yeah.
lot of shit like that. Like even like the sound effects that he dropped in like a lot of his
Yeah.
songs and shit that were just like really random. Like you hear sound effects in songs all the time now.
Yeah.
It's like, or different. I don't know.
I mean, if you look at, I mean, it's so interesting to think about that, but then look at something like what JPEG Mafia is doing. You know what I mean? Like, it's almost like, and I'm not saying JPEG got it from Spaceghostpurpp, but it is interesting to see how that style kind of like, you know, elevates and
I
like,
feel like JPEG Mafia is also
Yeah.
like Death Grips and like
oh, definitely too.
yeah, and like
Yeah.
right, kind of just like electronic music,
Mm-hmm.
heavy. He's
Yeah.
Long Island, right? Or he's from Long Island, or he was.
Who, JPEG Mafia?
Yeah.
Baltimore.
Someone
yeah.
told me recently that he was from Long Island, and I was like, "Oh, really?" Yeah. And they were like telling me that he was from Long Island.
Yeah.
They kept going on about it for like 15 minutes, and I was like, "Oh, so he must be."
No, I thought Baltimore just because there's like a noise rap scene thing in like Baltimore.
Yeah.
Like I used to be like into like really like experimental like noise music,
Yeah.
and I just used to read about Baltimore a lot. They have like a whole thing out there.
Yeah. You know, IDK,
I've heard his name before.
JIDK.
Yeah.
It's cool. I know he's a Baltimore or like DMV
Oh, okay, word.
rapper.
I didn't know that. I didn't know he's from the DMV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool guy. We were talking about Bronx drill earlier. We could wrap up soon.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
We can
Yeah.
wrap up whenever, honestly. We got more than enough.
Yeah. No, I probably got to go soon.
But let's wrap up. We could always do this again. But yo, thanks so much for coming on this,
No
man.
problem, man.
This was really cool. Have you ever done anything like this before? Like
Nah.
talked about yourself and shit?
Nah, yo.
So, I mean, this is really cool doing the first Blaq Kush interview. I'm a big fan of your music and shit. So, yeah, man. For everyone, please like and subscribe. Go check out Blaq Kush's albums. They are in the link below and everything. And if you're watching this far, it's been like very long. So thanks for sticking with us. And yeah, man, this is a good one.
Thanks, man.
Thanks for
yo.
doing this. And I think it's really cool shit because, I mean, I don't know. I enjoy. I learned a lot.
Word.
So I know someone else did too.
Hopefully. Yeah.
Shit, man. Well, you're the man, bro.
Thanks, man.
Are you driving back up tonight?
Yeah, I'm gonna drive back up tonight. So
Damn. So yeah, you got to get on road.
Yeah, I gotta
You
get on
on road.
It's difficult to find inspiration as I'm getting older. All I can think about is how my parents are getting older. Another lap around the solar, in the muddy waters like I was an ogre. Vulgar, your body floating where the sea at. It wasn't Doja, soldier, too young for the exposure. Composure of an entrepreneur and a homeowner. Bipolar, bare arms that are only lifting a Coca-Cola. Never provided closure.